And we'll get going here. So we've got upper body day today. We're gonna go through 4 minutes, or sorry, not four. Yeah, 4 minutes of rows. If you've got lots of options there at home, you can go single-sided, you can go double, or you can go into a band row, okay? So depending on what you have there at home, if your weights are fairly light, so you want to get that extra challenge by going single-sided, you can do, just make sure you're alternating every round and you're working both sides evenly. So we're not doing 2 rounds on one and 1 on the other. Okay, so what that looks like, if I've got a weight and I want to go single leg, I can go into that staggered stance. So opposite foot is forward from the arm that's rowing. I can kind of brace on that leg, but then I'm focusing on that retraction of the shoulder blade. So I'm not just pulling the arm up. I want to make sure I'm tucking that shoulder blade back, controlling it down, tucking that shoulder blade back. If the weight you have is a little too heavy for a single arm, then I'm going to have my feet just about hip width apart, shoulders are set, I'm gonna move into that good hinge. So I'm not just barely leaning over, pulling up. I wanna push the hips back, slight bend in the knees, and then into that deadlift type of position is where I'm gonna pull both shoulder blades back and together. If I don't have a lot of weights at home, but I have bands, I can also go down to the ground into a seated band row. A little bit more. So there, just looping that band around the feet, either doubled up or single. I still want to make sure shoulders are set back and I'm pulling the shoulder blades together. I'm not just pulling the arms in. So if that band is a little too tight, I can also just go single and adjust higher or lower as needed, but pulling shoulder blades back and together. So you can do any one of those for all 4 rounds here if you want, or if you want to kind of follow through, it would be one side single arm, followed by the other side single arm, followed by bent over, and then finally seated, okay? But like I said, if the weights you have at home, because we do realize you have limited equipment there, if that doesn't work for any of those options, you can also do one option for all 4. We're gonna go 40 seconds on, 20 seconds rest. And then that'll be our first one. So let's get warmed up with a little jog on the spot. Oh, see in the back there? A little jog on the spot to warm up here. Good, we're gonna get some arm circles in next. So starting small, getting a little bigger as you go, going for about 10. And then switching directions, starting small, getting a little bigger as you go. And then let's also go for some nice and wide ones. We are going to get a few high kicks in because if you're in that bent over position, let's just warm up those hamstrings and glutes. So go for about 8 per side, getting into a bit of that swing there. Go ahead and finish those up. Once you're done those, we're gonna come down to the ground and we're gonna go 5 per side T-spine rotations. So into that nice full rotation, 5 per side. And then once you're done that, we're gonna hop on up. We're gonna finish off with 15 jumping jacks. Remember, you can step them out if you need to. Just that final push to get warm here, and then we're gonna get going with your rows. Okay. So options, right? We can go single arm for the first one. We can go double arm for all 4, either seated or bent over. But we're gonna start with your rows. We're just gonna go for time today. That way you get a little bit of rest between each set. And but you got some good work time. So 40 seconds on, 20 seconds rest. Everyone's looking ready. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, let's go for it. So just making sure whatever position you're in, core is braced if you're in that bent over, and we're retracting the shoulder blade. So that pull should happen through the upper back. The arm shouldn't be taking over too much. Nice work, everyone. Five seconds here, then you'll get a little bit of rest, and then we'll go again. And rest. Okay, so you get 20 seconds rest. If you went single side, make sure you switch to the other side on round 2. If you went double arm, you can just keep going through that for all of the sets. 5 seconds. And let's go. Nice work, everyone. Ten more seconds. 2, 1, and rest. Okay, so if you've been going single side and that's starting to get challenging, you can also switch to double arm for the next 2 sets, or you can do another set of each single side. Okay, if anyone's finding that their shoulders just start riding up, remember you can take that second, set them back down even halfway through a set. It's usually worth it. And let's go, round 3. So arms extend, you're gonna exhale as you pull those shoulder blades back, let those arms extend and pull those shoulder blades back. Five seconds. And rest. Okay, we got one more set. So same thing, single side, you need to make sure you're switching. Well, even out both sides. If you're in that bent over position and you have a band, maybe you want to try that seated position. Okay, let's go. Last set here, 40 seconds of rows. Nice work, everyone. Remember to breathe through it. You got 10 seconds left here. And done. Okay, awesome job. A little bit of rest time here. We're gonna go into some tricep work next. So Jake, for you, I'm gonna get you to loop a band up on your pull-up rack there and then go for press downs. For everyone else, we're gonna flip back and forth between 2 different things here. So we're gonna go for tricep dips, and then we're also gonna go for tricep extensions. So if you have a weight at home there that works, or a band, we can go into an overhead tricep extension. So having that weight up, locking those arms out, we're gonna bend at the elbows to bring that back behind the head, and we're gonna push through, bend and push through. One thing you wanna watch here, sorry, the lighting is terrible at home, this is why I don't do this here. The one thing you wanna watch there is that your elbows aren't flaring down and out, hands are, or the upper portion of my arm is staying nice and tucked to my head, and I'm bending back to push through, bending back to push through. Okay, that can be done with a band. If you step on a band, lock it out overhead, kind of clasp your hands together. So it does work with the band as well. Just be careful that that band doesn't slip and give you a little spank down the side there. It's happened once or twice. Okay, so that's exercise number 1. If the overhead position doesn't work great for you, you can also do this from the ground. Okay, so lying down on the ground. Instead of having my arms, wrist, and shoulder, everything in line, I'm going to rotate back just a little bit. Then the upper portion of my arm is going to stay locked in, and I'm going to bend back and push through. Your range of motion here won't be quite as far, so you can always flip it the other way if you're holding just one weight. Okay, but the key there, if you're on the ground, is that you're not rotating through the shoulder. Once your arm is kind of in that set position, you're only moving through the elbow. Okay, so it is an alternative there if you want to try that instead of the overhead. If the overhead just doesn't quite work for you, it's a bit of a different shoulder position. Number 2, so that was all number 1, just lots of different options. Number 2 is a tricep dip. So I can do this from a box or a bench or a chair, but I can also do it from the ground. My fingers are pointed towards me, not away from me. I'm going to bend at the elbow, and I'm going to push through the palm of my hand to lock out. So bend at the elbow, and I want to really force that lock out. Chest out, nice full, push through, extend that arm all the way back, and extend that arm all the way. So really forcing that lock out. That's how you're going to get that squeeze in the tricep at the top. If you have a chair or a bench or something at home that's going to work there, you can also do that like a regular box dip. My body stays nice and close to the box though. Bend down, push through, bend down, and push through. The floor ones though are surprisingly effective. So don't feel like you need a box or a bench to make that effective. We're going to flip back and forth twice on each. So overhead extension, dips, overhead extension, and dips. Okay, we're just going to go 40-20 here again. It gives you a little bit of time to rest and transition. And let's go for it, everyone. So overhead first. Making sure, right, we're not bending and bringing down with the shoulders. We're bending at the elbows, locking it out. So you should feel that more in the muscle, the back of the arm there, the tricep, than the elbow or the shoulder. If elbow and shoulder is what you're feeling, let me know. Ten more seconds. 2, 1, and rest. So we're going to go into those dips next. So just remember, your fingers are pointed towards your body, shoulders are set back, and you're just going to focus on that lock out. You want to try them, Jake? Okay. And let's go, everyone. So you could always just do more sets of the band there if you need to, Jake, instead of switching between the two. So if those shoulders start to kind of round forward, take that second to set them back, and then just focus on that lockout. We're just trying to work those triceps here. You don't want to find too much strain in the shoulder here again. If anyone is, let me know. 10 more seconds. And rest. Okay, we got one more of each, right? So it's just that 40 seconds on, 20 seconds rest here. We're gonna go back to that overhead. Five seconds. Hopefully by the end of 4 rounds, your triceps have felt like they've worked. 2, 1, and let's go for it. Don't forget to breathe, right? So that exhale as you push through, squeeze at the top, bring it back, pushing through. That little squeeze, full extension at the top is how you're gonna hopefully feel more of that tricep burn. So Mary, try to rotate less through your shoulders here. Think about just bending at the elbow. So you wanna keep your elbow back, right? The upper portion of the arm isn't moving at all. There you go. 2, 1, and good. Okay, we're gonna go back one more time into those dips. How's everyone's arms feeling? Super great. 2 thumbs up. Oh, down, George. No. Okay, and go for it. Back into those dips. So we don't want to start with the shoulders rounded forward. We want to set the chest out, shoulders back, and then extend through those arms. Ten more seconds. 2, 1, and done. Okay, nice work, everyone. Next, we're gonna go into some floor presses. So lying on your back, it's that push off the chest. Here's where we're gonna change the range of motion and the tempo. So we're gonna go bottom half, top half, full with a 3-second down, followed by just regular reps. So what that's going to look like, if you've got multiple weights at home, right, you can use one in each hand if they're the same weight. You can use a single weight held by both hands, or you can use a band. Okay. So I want to think about tucking my shoulder blades underneath me. So I'm just not laying relaxed. I want to tuck those shoulder blades underneath. My hands should stay pointed to the ceiling the whole time. So what you don't want to do is bring the hands back and have the elbows up, right? We want to bring those triceps down to the ground. We're going to push through. We're just going to go bottom half here. So I'm not coming all the way locked out. It's going to be a very short range of motion, but that's going to add up. After that bottom half, we're going to go top half. So keeping those shoulders tucked. I'm not overextending, reaching too far. Shoulders are still tucked. And I'm just going to go into that top half. Then I'm going to come down all the way up with a 1, 2, 3 down, all the way up with a 1, 2, 3 down. And then our final one is just going to be regular reps. We can take away that slow negative. So if I've got a band, I can either double up that band underneath, right, and go into that press. If that's a little too thick, for me, a fresh black is going to be a little too much. So I can also just loop that single. Right? So that way I can adjust my tension a little bit more, grab really tight, especially for those half reps, get some good tension there versus feeling like it has to be doubled up. Does anyone need an alternative? Jake, from the floor, is this okay? Or do you need different ones? Yeah, this is okay from the floor? Okay. So we're going to start 30 seconds of that bottom half, immediately into 40 seconds at the top, 50 seconds of the full with a 3-second down, and then 60 seconds of just the regular. Okay, everyone looks set up and ready to go. 3, 2, 1, let's go for it. So bottom half here. It's gonna feel like a very short range of motion, but you're gonna get lots of them in. Just the bottom half of it. Ten more seconds. So even if this feels really easy, hopefully it's gonna add up. And good. Keep those shoulders tucked. We're gonna go all the way up, and now we're gonna go into top half. Yeah, you're going right away into that top half here. 15 seconds to go. 2, 1, all the way up, 3-second down, all the way up, 3-second down. Fifteen seconds. Then we're gonna just do regular reps. You're gonna take out that 3-second down. This is getting really hard, just pace them out. Rest at the bottom for a couple seconds, big explosive breath as you push away. 2, 1, and now it's just going regular reps for the final minute here. So take that rest at the top or bottom as needed. If you have weights that you can adjust, right? You can also grab different weights. Nice work, everyone. After all that tricep work and now this, I'm thinking everyone's arms are gonna be getting close to jello. 30 more seconds. $15 seconds. Three, 2, 1, and that's it. Okay, awesome work, everyone. We've got one more group of exercises to go through. Similar to this, we're gonna go that 30 seconds, 40, 50, and 60. So it's just another 3 minutes of work before our finisher. This is meant to be a little bit more of that upper back, but instead of that pulling in row, this is the up and down of the shoulder blades here, okay? So what that looks like is we're gonna do a plank with reach first. I would highly recommend going to an incline if that's something that you're struggling with any shoulder issues. Let's go into that incline. Jake, I'll probably get you to go into front raises for the first one. You can even do an alternating front raise. Okay, for everyone else, we're gonna go plank with reach. This is a little bit more of a rotation. So I'm gonna rotate that arm up versus a push, a thrust out. Think about that straight arm rotating, okay? After that, we're gonna go into a prone press or pull, depends on, if you've got somewhere to anchor a band, you can definitely anchor a band into an actual pull down. But if you don't have somewhere to anchor that, what we can do with a weight on the ground is either weight or even body weight. You don't need a lot for this. We're gonna lie down on our stomachs. Right out a little bit here. And then from our stomachs, we're gonna have our arms out extended above us, and we're gonna pull those elbows down, thumbs to shoulders. We're gonna reach out again. We're gonna exhale as we pull down. Your chest will lift a little bit here to get that. So it's not that when I'm pulling down that my chest has to stay down on the ground. I can get that. So what I want to focus on though is that I'm pulling my shoulder blades down and together as I think about pulling those elbows straight down, thumbs to shoulders. I can also do that against a wall, which is sometimes a little bit easier than the ground, especially if you're just going body weight, where I'm going to put my hands up against that wall, and I'm still going to think I'm not scooping down and out. I'm pulling straight down. So that straight pull, you should really feel those shoulder blades getting a good workout there as you pull them down together. And then our last two are, one is gonna be down on the ground for skydivers. So with the skydiver, I'm gonna think about a little nut between the shoulder blades and a little nut between the glutes. And I'm just gonna squeeze it. Bring it back down, exhale, you squeeze, and bring it back down. This is definitely not about how high up you're coming. It's just about that squeeze, focusing on the glutes, focusing on the upper back, that little pulse, pulling back, relaxing, that little pulse, pulling back, and relaxing. And then our last one is gonna be a trap raise. So if I've got some weight, I can hold some weight, shoulders are set. I'm gonna raise it all the way up overhead, control it back down to about shoulder height, all the way up overhead, and control it back down to about shoulder height. So instead of the front raise coming up to shoulders, it's shoulders to overhead. Okay. Jake, if
can I do the plank reach on the floor?
Yes, you absolutely can do. You can do the plank reach on the floor, but if you're finding that from the floor, you start to get further and further out, where your arms are closer, way further in front of you, I'd recommend dropping to the knees or going to an incline. But you can absolutely do it like a regular plank. Jake, front raises for the first one there is fine, and then. Is a face pull okay for you?
Yeah, I have a couple of bands there. I'm gonna try the pull down because My shoulder is still sore, but apparently I'm supposed to be able to start working it.
Okay, perfect. So if you need any different alternatives there, let me know. But for everyone else, you're going to get ready into that plank with reach first. Okay, everyone's pretty much good there. 3, 2, 1, and let's go for it. So just that nice little rotation. This is our first 30 seconds here. So you're not going to get a ton of these in, but definitely getting that warm up in. Nice job, everyone. Five seconds, then we're going into that pull down. So that pulling straight down, and let's switch. So this can be body weight or light weights. You're gonna have those arms extended overhead, and you're gonna exhale as you pull down all the way to your shoulders if you can. Bring it back up, pulling down. Ten more seconds. 2, 1. Now we're into skydiver. So on your stomach, that little pull back of the shoulder blades, the little squeeze of the glutes. So think more just like that little pulse. Yeah, but if you're feeling lower back, you want to brace that core and watch how high up you're coming. It's just a little squeeze. We don't want to be arching the back into a huge curve, or at least not more than is needed. "15 seconds. 2, 1. Good. Our last one is that overhead. So Jake, this one here, if you need to, I would try that face pull if that overhead rotation is too much. Okay, so for everyone else, we're going shoulders to overhead, back down, exhale as you pull that up overhead, and back down. So with the band or a weight here, we're going into that final trap raise. Nice work. You got 30 seconds left here. And then we're on to your finisher. 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and that's it. Awesome job, everyone. Take a little bit of rest here. We're going to go into a Tabata finisher, and then we'll stretch. So your Tabata, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds, not really to rest, but more so to just transition. We're gonna go jumping jacks or high knees, jog on the spot, any one of those. The goal here is just to get the heart rate up there, right? This is our finisher, it's our push to the end. So jumping jacks can be the full jumping, it can be the step out. Don't feel like you have to raise your arms up super high. We've done a lot of upper body work, right? It can even just be that little raise. Or you can jog on the spot or drive those knees up into high knees. Okay, whatever you can kind of control your pace with, get the heart rate up there a little bit, get a good little bit of a lung burn maybe by the end here. And then number 2 is just going to be flutter kicks. So I can pull my shoulders up if I can, and we're just going to go to those kicks. Remember, higher up is going to be a little bit easier. They can even be right pointed to the ceiling and just a smaller kick. If I need to hold my head, I can, or I can relax the shoulders. The goal here, though, is to pull that belly button into the spine, push that lower back into the ground. We want to feel abdominals. We don't want to feel too much lower back. We're just going to flip back and forth between those first 2 there. Oh, Leslie. How did I forget? Leslie is squatting it out here. She is determined for our squat challenge. Saturday morning, and I was not thinking. Okay, well, I'll make up for it next week. Okay, well, we're gonna get into our finisher here. If you want to switch your Tabata up to squats so that you can get your 130 squats in today, you can absolutely do squats here for your finisher. Okay, for anyone else, we've got high knees, jumping jacks, jog on the spot, and flutter kicks. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and let's go for it. No one's going for squats now? That's fair. I feel like it's just too little too late by the finisher time. Five more seconds, then we're going to core work. Whoa, what's happening there with the hearters? And rest. Okay, we're down to the ground. You're going into your flutter kicks next. 2, 1, and let's go. So don't forget to breathe. We want to pull that belly button in. We want to pull the abdominals tight, not push out against them. And then just trying to breathe through that little kicking motion. 2, 1, and rest. Okay, we're back up. So like I said, you could always throw in a little set of squats here, get a few of them done if you wanted to, or we're back to high knees or jumping jacks. And go. Just don't forget to keep in mental note if you're doing some squats here. Keep track of your squats. Because I'm apparently not for you today. Oof. 2, 1, and rest. Okay, we're back to flutter kicks. 2, 1, let's go. Five seconds. And rest. Okay, we're halfway through. We've done 2 rounds. We've got 2 more to go. So back up. Jumping jacks, high knees, squats, whatever you want to do here. And go. Two, 1, and rest. Back for your core work, some flutter kicks. If that's getting too hard to move, just hold. You can hold that hollow hold position as well. And go. Five seconds. And rest. Okay, we got 1 more round, everyone. Back up on your feet. 2, 1, and let's go. Five seconds. And rest. Okay, we got 1 more set of flutter kicks down on the ground. 2, 1, and go for it. Two, 1, and done, everyone. Nice job. So Leslie, you're muted, but you'll have to unmute to answer this. How many squats have you now done then today for your squat challenge?
60.
Oh, okay, you're almost halfway there. You're way
Almost
ahead.
halfway.
Nice, awesome job. Oh, I can't believe I was doing so good during the week on my video.
I was thinking, is she gonna do it today? I don't know. Maybe I should squeeze some in.
I absolutely would have. I just completely forgot about it.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Extra work.
Fun. Yeah, oh, George is like thumbs up. But you do know that means, George, next week when you watch a video, you're gonna have missed like bonus or all of those extra reps, and we're gonna go from 130 to like 160. Okay, well, we'll stretch it out here, everyone, and then I'll let you go about the rest of your Saturday morning. Let's start with just opening up that chest. So shoulders back, chest out, deep breathing in and out. Well, kudos to you for doing it anyways, Leslie, without me making you.
First, I'm thinking, oh, she's gonna squeeze it in later. We're coming near the end. Maybe not.
Well, no, the sets are already getting bigger every day because they go up by 10 a day. Okay, let's stretch out those triceps. Bring that one arm up, grab that elbow. So day 1, when I did them, it was only just little sets of 10. Day 2 was little sets of 15. Yesterday, we were already up to little sets of 20.
Yesterday, I was really slow at work the last 15 minutes, and all of a sudden I thought, oh, I'm gonna do some squats. Well, wait.
Switch it over there, everyone, if you haven't already. See, that's a good way to do it, though. Just, well, like, do you actually fill mailboxes with mail, too?
Yeah.
The thing, you have to squat down to do a couple.
I know, but I am not counting that.
Okay, let's stretch out the back of the shoulders a little bit here. So bringing that arm in, giving it that little hug as you also pull across. Deep breathing in and out. Has anyone else been like regularly every day getting their squats in, or just kind of sometimes once in a while? No one's saying. I have you all muted, so you probably can't actually answer. Let's switch it over. You can unmute at this point while we're stretching if you want to. Deep breathing in and out. Okay, we're gonna take a big breath in, let ourselves fall forward, let those arms just kind of make those circles nice and loose through the shoulder joints. Just hanging out. Slowly come up out of that. Let's do a little bit of a lat stretch here. So we're going to give that reach across. If I'm not feeling much of a stretch in the lat, tug on that arm just a little bit to kind of pull. Switch it over. Good, and then we'll finish off down on the ground for a little bit of an upper back stretch. So reaching forward as I kind of sit back onto the heels. I can bend at the elbows here to kind of lower my chest and settle in a little bit more. And that's it for today, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you're having a good week, and we've got a long weekend here, so enjoy it, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks.